Hello everyone. Right, got the motor in. It's all working alright. But I just thought I don't know, I'm having a few problems with this thing at the moment, and so I just thought I'd just let you know what's going on. First thing is, whoever put this together, I don't know, it's like they put 2 tons of thread lock on like everything apart from like the odd screw. So it's like the odd one would just come out really easy, and the others were a right pain to get out. I managed to round off one of the screws. Where's that one gone? Over here. Yeah, I managed to round off one of the bottom screws that holds the motor mount in. So I ended up having to cut a slot in it with the old Dremel disc. Cut a slot, and you can see there where I had to cut the slot to get that screw out, because it was totally rounded off and I just couldn't get it out, so I had to do that. And why have we got Phillips head screws, right, and they just always round off? They're just stupid. So, and the fix for a rounded off Phillips head screw is to cut a slot in it. Why can't we just have old slotted screws? They seem to work better. I don't know why, I seem to round off a hell of a lot less for slotted screws than I do Phillips. Anyway, so that's one problem, which was a pain. So I've had to gouge my nice new chassis to get that screw out, which was a pain. Now the other thing is the sway bar. Oops, my heater just gone. Let me just turn that off a sec. The sway bar. I wondered why when it. Oops, what was that? I wonder why. Things pinging about. I wondered why when it turned up, all the suspension was like so rock solid. It was ridiculous. I was like, why is it like that? It's because the sway bar, right, was screwed onto the end there. It was just fitted on there with a screw in, and it sort of kicked it out at a funny angle and made it ridiculously stiff. And I was thinking, why is that? And I was obviously I had to take it all off to get all this diff apart and everything. And I was thinking, why is it like that? It's so ridiculous. And I looked at the front ones, and they've actually got a slot in the lower arm that that fits into. And I looked on the back one, and it did have a slot. So I'm thinking, well, why isn't it in there? So I tried putting it in there, and they didn't actually fit. They didn't go in the hole. So I reckon the holes weren't big enough to get that in. So they thought, oh bugger it, I'll just screw it on the end there. But it doesn't work like that. It was rubbish. So I ended up having to use the old Dremel with a bit like that and just make the hole just slightly bigger, and slotted it in, and now it goes in. And it's definitely supposed to go in there, because the screw, let me get that shot. The screw does go all the way through and into that bit. So it's kind of, it goes all the way through, so it is meant to go in like that, but it didn't come like that. And the reason it didn't come like that is because it didn't fit in the hole. So they just screwed it on the end. How stupid. Right, next problem. Again with the sway bar. Right, the back of the sway bar there, or the back sway bar, that slots through there, and it has this little plate on it, 2 screws holding it in, but it also has a little Allen key. So basically, if that's undone, that bar just moves about. It isn't fixed, and it doesn't work, it's completely useless. So you just do up that Allen key, now the bar is held in place. So now it works. But on the front, Alright. On the front, it's got this contraption. Right, to unbolt 3 bolts on the bottom there to get that off. And I'm thinking, well, is there another plate behind that that's got the Allen key in? No, it doesn't. It doesn't have any Allen key securing it. It just has those 2 screws and those 2 screws holding it in. So basically, with that on, no screws holding it, it just moves about. It's completely useless. So there's nothing to secure that. So what I think I'm going to do is an idea. Let me get a screwdriver and point it out a bit easier. Right. Move that back on the desk. Here we go. Right. Now there, that bit there, short bit. I think I might cut a slot out of that. Cut a slot out of there. Trim it all down, and then from the back. Where have I got one? Got one sitting right here. I can tap a hole in it. You know, just drill a hole through there, tap a hole in it, and then I can fit a grub screw. This is going to focus. Come on, focus. Anyway, you know what a grub screw looks like. So that's it. What I think I'm going to do. Yep. Because then I actually have some means of securing that. So cut a little bit out of there, tap it, and then hopefully I can still get an Allen key in there to do it up. So that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, that fixed it. I don't know if you can see there. Cut that out and then fitted a grub screw. So yeah, it's just tap a hole. Obviously it'd be a bit fiddly. Luckily I've got a Allen key that's actually a bit shorter than a normal Allen key, so I can actually get in there and do it up. And now that doesn't slide about now, so that's the sway bars fixed in place, so it's not all just moving around and completely useless with it being there. Sorry, I'm getting a bit fed up with this. Keep finding faults with this thing. Another problem I found with all these nice, lovely, you know, alloy links and everything and all that. On the rear, it's fine, basically. Brilliant on the rear, because it's got 3 shot there. It's got 3 different holes that you can locate that in for some reason, because that's adjustable. There's 3 different holes there. Why, I don't know. But it gives you a bit more of an option of basically moving it and getting it straight. So, because I was lining it up, there's the angle. I was just like putting the angle in there, just line it up so it's just got a slight bit of camber, just a little tiny bit. I mean, if I'm going to be putting foams on this at some point, I don't want loads of camber, so it's just a tiny bit off. I've got that perfect there. And again on the other side. But problem with the front, there's only one hole. There's no other locating hole. There's another hole there, but it's just up. It's not long or back. It's just up. Not really going to give you a lot of make a lot of difference. So basically, this is now, you know, straight up like that. I've got a tiny bit of camber, like I said, on the thing. It's just the tiniest bit of camber. But look, there's no more adjustment. you cannot put any more camber on this thing if you tried. It's got all, you've got your manual here, and it's sort of, what was it? Oh, telling you how to set up your toe angle and your camber and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry to slag this off, but how are you going to give it more camber when you've run out of adjustment? I don't know. There's nothing, and this one was even worse actually. This one, all the way done up, that's as far as it will go, and that is just a little bit, yeah, just a little bit of camber there that I've given it, because it's on the front. You want a bit more camber on the front. Really, the back you want a bit straight, the front you want a bit of camber on. Oops. The manual just falling over there. Not taking the transfer. This one, though, with it all the way done up, fully done thing, it was still angled that way. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how have I run out of adjustment? And it's actually cambered the wrong way. I couldn't believe it. So I actually had to take all those links off, and I've actually ground the steering rod links shorter. I've actually cut them off, and I've made them about a millimetre, each of them is about a millimetre shorter, and it's given me just enough adjustment to make that have a bit of camber on it. Weird. I have no idea why, but anyway, it's sorted now, pretty much. Oh, I will say on the front, when you take this off, I mean, I had to completely dismantle this whole thing just to do that, because obviously I didn't want to, I mean, I could have done it, but I didn't want to cut into the foam or whatever. But you've got to take it all off, then you've got to undo those, and you've got to take the plate off as well. So you've got 3 more bolts there, and then you've got 4 more screws under there holding all those bits on. And when you take that apart as well, be careful. There's these 3 nut bolts go through to some nuts that are just kind of sitting in a recess. So when you pull that out and you take it apart, they will just fall out and go all over the floor. So just a little warning there. If you take that off, the nuts will fall out and go all over the floor. So that was a bit annoying. And also, what's funny is the thing that's holding just the foam bumper on, for some reason they seem to be the best quality screws. Those 4 there are the 4 best quality screws on the whole thing, and it's the ones that hold the foam bumper on. I don't know why. Yeah, it's really annoying. Anyway, but like I said, it's all done. It's still loose. It's just for the balls. You can tell that it's all done. So I need to. I shall leave it as it is, but then I shall make some adjustments and show you what I do with that when I turn this into the speed model. I'm gonna leave this as it is for more or less how it came. So obviously I've changed the spur gear and everything. Like I said, 64 spur, 26 tooth pinion. The original one came with a 72 tooth spur and a 33 tooth pinion. The reason why I got it wrong with what the tooth was, because it's got yeah, that's my one. It's got all the stuff in there, all the parts and everything. Now, whoops, my memory card was full, so the camera stopped. So I had to delete some old footage. Anyway, back on what this was. Yeah, so basically it's got all the parts for my car listed there. So when I was looking at the spur gear, focus on that. Come on. Don't want to focus. But anyway, that's a 72 spur for this thing. But it's also got all the parts for other vehicles. So when I was looking at what the spur gear was before I did the last video, I looked at the wrong one. So I was looking at that one, and that's why I said it was a 77 tooth gear. But that's for what's that? The short course truck. That one is. So that's why I got that wrong. In case you're all wondering. So get this to focus this time. There we go. So the one for this one was a 72 tooth 48 dB or DP. Sorry, I keep making that mistake. DP pitch, not dB. But obviously I've changed that now. So I think the gear ratios are quite close from what I've done. I have to work it out again, whatever it is. So it's sort of still a fair test. It's just I've put Metal Gear in there. I shall tell you, I forgot about this earlier. I was going to mention it earlier, but I forgot. The Pinion gear. As you can see, this has got the Ghoul RC 3660 3800 kV in it, which has got a 5mm shaft, and the Pinion had a 3.175mm hole for the shaft. So obviously I've now taken that out to 5mm, but I don't know what they've made this Pinion out of. It's made out of adamantium or something. It took me 2 hours to get that hole out on my lathe. It took 2 hours. I mean, I don't know if you can see on here. It's like knackering my drill bits. Come on, focus. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. There we go, that's better. Yeah, it's like knackering my drill bits. Did it on a few of them. Trying to do it, and it was like I ended up having to take it out in sort of steps, and it was so hard. I even managed to snap in it. It was blunting this reamer as well. 5mm reamer. It was blunting in that, and then it got caught in it, and it snapped. Look at that. Jesus, the metal that is made out of is ridiculous. I suggest, if you get one of those, do not try and drill it out. You probably need ridiculously good, expensive drill bits or something to get through that. And again, you'd have to do it on a lathe or ridiculously powerful pillar drill or something. Anyway, so yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. Gone through loads of oil, and it was ridiculous trying to get them to put oil on it. But anyway, here we are. So let me just I'll plug the two. So I've got a 2-cell in here at the moment. I'll just turn the camera off. Come back in a sec. Right, I've got the 2-cell connected. Don't turn it on yet. There you go. See, that's a 2-cell there. I've just done this temporarily, trying to get a better transmitter. Just a bit of foam, like that. I just double-sided it, taped it all down. It's not sticking that well, but double-sided tape there. A little bit of tube, hot glue, just keeps me aerial tidy there. Just cable tied that on. 60 amp ESC came out of my Eternity Trooper Pro. I've just bunged that on there for now. Here's the switch, all done. So let's switch it all on. So yeah, steering works. Quite a bit of play in it though. Like I said, I will hopefully sort that out. Oops, okay, starting up. That was it. Woohoo! It's all working. Whoa! Jesus! This is just on 2 cell. Whoa! God, that is just on 2 cell. And the tyres are ballooning that much? Yeah. This is going to be fun. So, it's all done. Yeah, can't wait. I've got to give it a try and I'll work out what's the next size pinions to get, and I will make sure I get pinions that have already got a 5mm hole in. So, yeah.